How to become an audio engineer, brought to you by jobsearchchannel.com.
What's going on today, you guys? So today we're going to be going over the question of who is Bon Jovi's music producer. Now, I've been learning about music production for about 10 years now, but I'm still learning every single day. I think music is one of those things that when you get into it, you quickly have to realize that the environment is ever changing, both on the business side and the technology side. And you need to be prepared to always be learning more, always be asking new questions and seeking out new answers, because it's really a kind of never-ending sort of career in terms of learning. Now, I've been working in music production for a bit now, and I kind of got into it because it was just a huge passion of mine. It was very, very important to me, and I kind of realized at one point that it was really all I could do. And I started out as a young boy kind of playing in bands, doing small tours here and there across the U.S. as a guitarist and singer, and I kind of wanted to get in on the other side and see what music production was all about. So I began going to school for music and did a few internships out here in LA, which were absolutely wonderful. I highly recommend that to anyone trying to get into the music production business or get into mixed engineering or mastering, because having hands-on experience with a professional is just of the utmost importance. Now, eventually, I got spat out on the other side, where I began working as a music producer, writer, and composer full-time at a sync studio, where I've been for the past 2 years. Now, you might want to know the answer to the question of who is Jon Bon Jovi's music producer, because you love rock music, you love that classic 80s and 90s sound, and you want to know, who's behind all that? Who's the person that's kind of pulling the strings and making everything happen? So let's talk about John Shanks. Now, John Shanks has been around for quite some time. He's an American songwriter, record producer, guitarist, born in the early 60s, and kind of made his mark in Los Angeles. Now, he began playing guitar in Melissa Etheridge's band back in 1988. He toured for several years and kind of enjoyed his first writing successes in the early 90s. He was writing for Joe Cocker, Bonnie Raitt, Tuck and Patty, and there he kind of landed his first publishing deal. Now, he ended up in the early 2000s producing for some pretty big names, including Stevie Nicks and Damon Johnson. He started working with Michelle Branch and Sheryl Crow, doing, tons of really great hit singles. Now, it wasn't until 2005 when he worked on some of probably the most major albums of that year, which included Never Gone by the Backstreet Boys and the 9th album by Bon Jovi, Have a Nice Day. This kind of began his long road with Bon Jovi, because in 2007 he also produced Bon Jovi's 10th album, Lost Highway, and their 11th album in 2009 entitled The Circle. He worked with a couple bands in between 2009 and 2013 until 2013, when he produced Bon Jovi's 12th album, What About Now? And finally, in 2015, doing Burning Bridges before This House Is Not For Sale in 2016. So, as you can see, John Shanks has done quite a bit. He's a wonderful, wonderful producer working in kind of the rock, country rock, and pop rock sphere. And if you are kind of into that music or into that scene, John Shanks is definitely a name to know, and I would highly recommend looking him up and learning a lot more about him if you can. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to check the description and get in touch with us. All right, take it easy.